Oh my gosh, we're going to finish Sparrow Hawk Red. This is the last chapter, chapter 24. So we're going to find out how it all ends up. So if you remember, Ricky and his dad were flying together, and now his dad is going to go kind of mess with the bad guys in the helicopters. So chapter 24. Ricky climbed the skyhawk, coaxing it upward with a tight grip on the yoke. When he risked a glance back, the Camacho choppers had swung into formation, guarding each other. The bright red baby Great Lakes winged over and spiraled into them. They scattered. One chopper banked around, pursuing Ricky. Benito snapped the baby upward and twisted in on a collision course. For a moment, the chopper held its heading. The red biplane closed, the big radial engine snarling like a mad dog. At the last second, the helicopter veered nearly out of control to avoid the attack. Never before had Ricky seen his dad fly this wildly. For the moment, the helicopters had no advantage. Their extra speed only helped them run from the attacking biplane. The baby Great Lakes badgered them, looping, rolling, diving, and twisting. The choppers flew in confused patterns. With the dogfight too distant to keep watching, Ricky returned his attention to the cockpit. The altimeter showed nearly 2,000 feet. Ahead and to the east stretched the border town of Domingo. "Ricky Diaz," crackled a strange voice over the radio. "We have you in sight. This is DEA Black Hawk Leader 697. Continue north heading 352. Do you read?" Ricky combed the horizon. There they were, 5 Black Hawk helicopters hovering near the border. They looked menacing in a tight line 300 feet off the ground. Ricky picked up the handset. "Roger, DEA." So these are the good guys in their helicopters. "Ricky," Benito broke in, "those jokers just got smart. They've separated and are coming at you from different directions. I can't hold them both. Start diving. Trade in your altitude for speed. You hear me? Dive." Before Ricky could answer, Black Hawk Leader crackled back. "Ricky, this is Black Hawk 697. Dive toward us. You're safe once you cross the border, guaranteed." Ricky felt sweat running down his temples. His arms had started cramping. He shoved the control yoke forward, starting a shallow dive. With full power, the engine wailed. Wind screeched past the wings. It wasn't good for an airplane to dive full power. Ricky knew this, but getting shot full of holes wasn't exactly good for a plane either. Desperately, he aimed the streaking skyhawk toward the hovering DEA choppers. Keep her coming, coaxed the stranger in the Black Hawk. "Never thought I'd see Sparrow Hawk Red." There's our title. So remember, he's Sparrowhawk, and now they're in code red, which means he's actually flying the plane. What was this Sparrowhawk Red stuff? Ricky wondered. He kept the dive angled toward the DEA choppers. The altimeter needle swung over under 1,000 feet. Air whistled through the bullet holes behind the seat. Half a mile to go. "Keep diving, Ricky," the formation leader shouted. "One of those snakes is on your tail. Come in underneath us. If the bogey continues, he's bacon." Ricky dared not look around. He concentrated on the narrow gap of sky below the choppers as it raced up at him with dizzying speed. The skyhawk was coming in hot. "Bring her home, Sparrowhawk, bring her home," coached the voice, brittle with tension. Ricky tasted blood from biting his lip. The Blackhawks and the ground blurred past as he rocketed under the formation. Blackhawk Leader suddenly laughed aloud. "You're home, Sparrowhawk. Our bogey skipped the party. Didn't want his candles lit." Ricky pulled from his dive in a long, screaming arc. The end choppers peeled from formation and pulled alongside. Both pilots waved, their faces hidden by helmets and dark visors. "Way to go, Sparrowhawk," one called over the radio. "That's some flying." "Why do you call me Sparrowhawk?" Ricky asked. "Guess you wouldn't know that," the pilot's voice crackled. "It's been your code name through this whole operation. I'm sure looking forward to meeting you." Ricky smiled, looking down at his ragged clothes and car tire sandals. That guy would swallow his tonsils and think he was a... Ricky stopped himself from thinking Ratero. No one was a street rat. The guy would think he was a homeless beggar. "Would you follow us?" the pilot asked. "Not without my dad," Ricky answered. "Fair enough. We'll make an easy 360-degree circle left. Your dad should be here any minute. Sparrowhawk, how is your fuel?" Ricky flashed the pilot a thumbs up okay. He banked easily about, the 2 Blackhawks shadowing his wings. "Sparrowhawk, you got any kind of radar aboard?" Ricky smiled. "Yup, just happened to have one in the back, a big one." He thought of the agent's badge in his pocket. "Blackhawk 690. Go ahead, Sparrowhawk." "I have one of your agent's badges, too. The name is Dexter Crumb." The stranger's voice he'd heard earlier came on. Sparrowhawk, this is DEA Director Frank Page. Please repeat what you just said on Dexter Crumb. I got his badge. You can't. Dexter lost that to 6 men who mugged him on some back street. Baloney, Ricky exclaimed. I snitched it from him because he was looking for me. The man chuckled. I'll be anxious to hear the whole story when we land. A disciplinary review board might enjoy hearing it too. Mind if I join you? Benito broke in over the radio. The baby Great Lakes streaked past like greased red lightning. Ricky grinned, watching the shiny biplane's screw barrel rolls upward through the sky. Sun glinted off the twin wings. Benito looped the red baby over into a long, sweeping victory roll around the formation. The maneuver settled him into perfect position beside the right chopper. He waggled his wings and gave a thumbs up to the formation. Good afternoon, gents, he said casually. Ricky dipped his own wings and flashed his thumb back. Geez, this was great. He caught his dad's broad smile. They flew without speaking. Finally, Benito spoke. That was some flying you did, Mijito. You taught me, Ricky answered proudly. Not to fly like that, I didn't. You taught me not to be a quitter. There was an awkward pause. Benito's voice broke the stillness. I should have listened to my own advice. Again, they flew in silence. Ricky spoke next. Papa, I'm going to need your help. What's wrong? I made a good friend in Mariposa. Somehow I have to help her. Will you go back with me later? I'd love to, Mijito. By the way, how would you like to help me out? Doing what? Oh, I just thought if I started flying air shows again, I'd need someone along I could trust. Are you kidding? Not on your life. Well, are you up for it? You bet, Ricky said, grinning. He watched the last 3 Black Hawks swing in and join the formation. The 5 helicopters, the baby Great Lakes, and the Skyhawk were flying in a rough V, Ricky at the point. Sparrowhawk, Black Hawk leader broke in. We'd be honored to escort you to Cooper Air Base for debriefing. Ricky looked at the helicopter separating him from Benito. Only if Papa can be my wingman, he answered, his voice firm. No problem, the pilot answered. He rolled out of position. Benito swung the baby in tight beside the Skyhawk. He nodded to Ricky, his head bowed. I'd be honored to be your wingman, son. All right, we finished the book. Hooray!